This text presents a detailed analysis of the global and Indian landscape of male sex work, highlighting the growing prevalence of the practice in countries like Mexico and India. It discusses the devastating impact on the physical and mental health of those involved in the profession, noting the dangerous reliance on drugs and narcotics to cope with work-related pressures. Sources also reveal that affluent and upper-class individuals grapple with similar crises and severe ailments driven by sexual deviance, loneliness, and an insatiable craving for dopamine. According to the article, while the impoverished succumb physically due to a lack of resources, the wealthy are becoming hollow from within due to mental stress and the complexities of leading a secret life. Ultimately, this information sheds light on a dark facet of society, that despite wealth and fame, sexual exploitation and mental disorders can drive lives toward a premature end.
Performance drugs like Viagra carry the public image of a simple lifestyle aid, a predictable prescription for the natural changes of aging. However, that sterile reputation masks a high-stakes, volatile global industry. This chart shows the scale of the legitimate global market for sexual health medications, currently valued at $6.8 billion. Sildenafil, the active ingredient in Viagra, accounts for 42% of that entire market. This footprint grows significantly larger when factoring in the sprawling shadow market of unregulated wellness supplements and herbal substitutes. This demand is heavily fueled by the unregulated global sex work industry and high society circles, where users rely on these chemicals to sustain extreme dopamine rushes and override psychological burnout. With billions of dollars worth of these extreme performance chemicals flooding into the global human population every year, we have to look at what this influx is actually doing to our biology. This medical schematic shows how PDE5 inhibitors function. Rather than waiting for natural arousal, these drugs act as a biological override. They force blood vessels to expand, flooding specific tissues with rapid, sustained blood flow and completely bypassing the body's natural exhaustion limits. Because the human body cannot naturally sustain this level of forced physical exertion, users frequently turn to secondary drugs to mask the resulting physiological trauma. This creates a dangerous chemical cocktail. Users often combine performance drugs with anabolic steroids for stamina, heavy painkillers to suppress physical tearing, and psychotropics to numb mental anxiety and fear. Mixing forced blood flow medications with heavy painkillers and sedatives creates a toxic loop that the human body eventually fails to process. The cumulative effect of this chemical regimen is a rapid biological decline. In environments where these drugs are used daily to sustain high performance demands, medical data shows that the body typically collapses within a narrow 3 to 5 year window. The cardiovascular system takes the first hit. Sudden, irregular blood pressure spikes from PDE5 inhibitors can cause heart rhythms to become erratic, leading directly to strokes and fatal heart attacks. As the organs filter this constant stream of painkillers and illicit substances, the toxic load becomes unsustainable. The liver and kidneys eventually shut down, unable to process the chemical volume. Eventually, the brain ceases to signal natural arousal entirely. Without the medication, the user is permanently impotent, often compounded by severe tissue damage from conditions like priapism, where blood becomes trapped and the cells begin to die. The human body is not evolved to operate on these extreme artificial inputs. At this intensity of use, permanent biological destruction becomes a predictable outcome. This physical toll bridges two very different worlds. It affects the vulnerable street worker using cheap counterfeit pills, and the wealthy elite using branded medications under high-end medical supervision. Despite the massive difference in wealth and access, the biological strain remains identical. Both groups face the same erratic heart rhythms and the same risk of total organ failure. Human biology cannot be bribed or outmedicated. The physiological breaking points are the same regardless of a person's bank account. In medical records, this reality is often obscured by the underlying cause of death, the initial catalyst that leads to a final fatal event. For high-profile individuals, drug-induced strokes or organ failures are recorded as cardiac arrest or natural causes. This preserves the family reputation while scrubbing the true catalyst from the public record. This systemic secrecy keeps the lethality of the performance drug market hidden from global health statistics and the general public. human biology remains the ultimate, unyielding equalizer. While the performance drug market generates billions in revenue, its true cost is found in the silent, hidden disintegration of the human body.
If you like our channel, please subscribe, like, and share Sanjay Sethi Word Money.
If you like our video, please subscribe, like, share and comments. Thank you very much.